Welcome to the Airlift Workshop, where you get expertise from the air suspension specialists, keeping you on the road and in top condition. Today, we're installing a LoadLifter 5000 series kit on a 2016 Ram 1500. Installation will be nearly identical between the LoadLifter 5000, LoadLifter 5000 Ultimate, and LoadLifter 5000 Ultimate Plus variations. Remember, this overview doesn't replace your installation manual. Grab yours out of the box and let's get started. We'll start by assembling the air springs. Install the swivel elbow fittings and position the roll plates on the air springs. If you're installing an Ultimate Plus kit, install the braided stainless steel airline now using 2 wrenches. Attach the lower air spring brackets on the same side as the air fitting using flat head socket screws. Install the upper spring brackets on the top of the air springs. The short side of the bracket with notches cut out must point in the same direction as the angled flanges on the lower brackets. Now it's time to install the finished assemblies. Raise the truck with a floor jack and support the frame with jack stands and drop the axle, making room for the air spring assembly. For filming purposes, we're using a drive-on vehicle hoist. Twist and pull the stock jounce bumpers from the vehicle. Slide the upper bracket inserts into the corresponding slots for your particular model. Reference the installation manual for more details. Four-wheel drive models will use the smaller insert in the top slots as well as the bottom slots. Secure with a cotter pin. Insert the carriage bolts into the openings on the lower bracket. Set the assemblies on the jounce bumper strike plates, making sure to point the air fittings toward the center of the vehicle. Hook the tabs on the bracket below the strike plate toward the axle. Push the assembly forward so that the carriage bolts line up with the existing holes in the front of the jounce bumper strike plate. Fasten the carriage bolts with serrated flange lock nuts and tighten. Next, install a U-bolt around the stock jounce bumper cup with the threaded ends pointing toward the center of the truck. Slide the upper frame bracket assemblies into position so that the U-bolt threads insert into the brackets. Thread serrated flange lock nuts onto the ends of the U-bolt. Raise the axle so that the air spring upper bracket contacts the upper frame bracket. Insert 2 carriage bolts into the top rear holes of the upper bracket, then another 2 into the bottom of the front holes. Attach with serrated flange lock nuts. Move the assemblies forward and backward to secure it in place, then tighten all the hardware. Next, you'll need to run airlines. Depending on the kit you've purchased, you'll either have nylon or braided stainless steel airlines. We'll be using the braided stainless steel airline in this video. Before routing airlines to the air springs, note the available length and pick a convenient inflation valve drilling location. We'll use the license plate recess for securing the inflation valve. You could also use the wheel well flanges or under the gas cap access door. You may need to drill a hole. If you're installing our Ultimate Plus kit with stainless steel airlines, route the stainless steel braided airlines from each air spring to the previously determined location of your Schrader valve. Use zip ties to secure to the chassis in 6 to 8 inch intervals. The airline can then be secured onto the Schrader valve by tightening finger tight and then using 2 wrenches to turn an additional flat or 1/6 of a turn. Make sure not to over-tighten. Coil and secure any excess airline in an area where it will not be susceptible to damage. The braided line cannot be trimmed. When integrating with an onboard air compressor, you'll need to use the AN to push to connect fittings included with the kit and connect using nylon airline. If you're installing the LoadLifter 5000 or 5000 Ultimate, place a nut and star washer on the inflation valve and push it through the inflation valve hole. Use a rubber washer, flat washer, and nut to secure it in place. Then twist on the valve cap. When cutting airlines, never cut from the side or with wire cutters. You'll leave a jagged edge and ruin the hose. Instead, use a sharp razor blade to get a square, clean cut. A hose cutter will also do the trick. Now, route the longest airline path first. Secure it along the frame using the provided zip ties. Once routed, measure an extra 12 inches, then cut the airline. Following the same guidelines, route, secure, and cut the second airline. Attach the metal heat shield to the exhaust where it's closest to the passenger side air spring. Before getting on the road, inflate the springs to 50 psi and spray all airline connections with a soapy solution to check for leaks. That does it. Remember, you can find more information about all of our products at airliftcompany.com. And our knowledgeable customer service team is always just a phone call away. Thanks for joining us in the Airlift Workshop.